going to be showing you my eyeshadow palette collection, and these are mainly, yes, they're all eyeshadow palettes, and I'm going to be showing them to you. I'm going to be talking about my favorite palettes and which ones I don't really use, and probably get rid of some of them just because I don't use them. So before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified when I upload videos, and please give it a thumbs up at the end if you liked it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so most of my palettes, I keep them in this drawer right here. So this is mainly where I have all my palettes, and I'm just going to be taking all of these out and bringing them. That's a blush palette, I don't need that one. I'm just going to be taking all of these out from here, and I'm going to be moving them to the table where I'm going to show them to you. So I'll just remove these right now. I also have a couple more over here. Let me see, is it here? Yes, I have a couple here. This does not go here. It goes right there. And I have a couple more over here. So I'll just be taking all these to the table, and I'll be right back. I'm going to post a footage right here of what just happened to one of my favorite palettes. I just dropped this palette and it got shattered. I don't think it's that bad, but oh, I'm so sad because it's one of the new ones. So yeah, so this happened. I just dropped it and it kind of broke. It didn't break all of it, but it did shatter a little bit. Like, oh, how sad is that? Okay, so I guess I'll start with these palettes. They're the Tartelette palettes. So I do have all three of the Tartelette palettes just because who doesn't love Tarte? Like, everybody loves Tarte. So this is the first palette that I have. When this first came out, I was so happy because it has neutral and cool tone shades. So these are the shades right here. I mainly use like these right here. I'll use these right here once in a while, like more towards the fall. But I love these because they're so pigmented, they're so creamy, and I use them like, they're neutral, so I use them a lot. So yeah, this is the first palette, and I really like this palette, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Then they came up with the second Tartelette in Bloom palette, and this is what it looks like. It also has very neutral shades, and once again, I mainly use this section right here. I'll use maybe the dark ones like on the outer V or something, but I also like this one, and I'm not getting rid of that one either. And then we have Tartelette Toasted. This is the one that broke right now. And so these are the shades. They're more like toasty shade, like toasty shades. Oh, this is falling everywhere. I need to fix that. So I really like these shades because as you all know, I like my brown shades. So anytime I want to do like a brown look or just like a natural look, I'll grab this one and a couple of others, but I really like this one, so I'm not getting What's wrong with me? No. Okay, it's fine. Whew. Okay, I think I'll just set those aside. Okay, so moving on, should I talk about, oh, my Norvina got dirty. Okay, I have these right here, so I'm going to talk about these right here. So I have three Anastasia palettes. I had the Modern Renaissance, but I got rid of it. I don't know why I gave it away, but I do want to get it again because I don't know why I gave it away. I don't even know why. So I have three Anastasia palettes. The first one is the Soft Glam palette, and this is what it looks like. Once again, I'm more like liking these right here, which are like the brownish kind of neutral shades. This palette is so good. A lot of people say it's real powdery. It is very powdery, but also keep in mind that the pigment is so good. That's why they're so powdery, but I don't mind the powdery. Just be careful with it. So yeah, this is the first Anastasia palette that I have. I also have the Anastasia Subculture palette. For some reason this one feels heavier than this one. I don't know why. So I have this one, and this is more like towards like the fall kind of shadows. So I really like this one as well. It's not my favorite one, but I'm not gonna get rid of it because I just got it and I want to make more looks with it. I do think this is the most powdery of the other two that I have, but I still like it. You just have to be careful with it. So I have that one. And then recently, this is the newest one that they have. It's the Norvina palette, and these shadows are so good. I think this is the palette that has the best formula out of all of them. Like, it is powdery, but it's not as much powdery as the other ones. But the glittery ones, they feel kind of like they feel like, I don't know, like creamy, kind of like the ColourPop. And these are so pigmented. Like, look at that. That is so cool. They're so pigmented, and I really like it. So I just got it, like I said. And yeah, that's the other one. And then moving on, I'm not going by any order. I just had this thing right here, so I'm going through these. I have these two e.l.f. palettes, and I'm gonna get rid of these just because I don't use them. I don't ever think I use this one. So this is the Kneaded Nude, which are nudes. So these are the shades right here. Once again, like, I don't even know why I bought these. I bought these because they seem kind of cool, but I don't use them. I think I've used this one like one time. Should I keep this one or no? I don't think so, because I don't really use them. So I'm gonna give these to my mom. My mom gets all excited when I give her new makeup because she's all excited about makeup too. So I'm gonna get rid of those just because I don't use them. So the next one that I have is this NYX Ultimates Brights. It's called the Brights Shadow Palette, and it's like the ultimate shadow palette. And these are all bright colors. I'm not getting rid of this one just because this is the only palette that I have with bright colors, and if I want to use something bright, I'll just grab this one because it has like very bright colors. So I'm not getting rid of that one, even though my mom wanted it, but I think I'll just buy one for her because I'm not getting rid of it. So another palette that I have is the Lorac Pro Matte palette. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes, and it's so like, it is so convenient. Like, it is so tiny. It's good for travel because it's so small. So these are the shades right here. As you all can see, this shade I already hit pan because it's such a natural shade that you can just throw on your lid and go. So yeah, this is one of my, this one, Latte and Corduroy. They're two of my favorite shades. So anytime I want to do something like fast and quick, like, I'll just grab this one. I can even take it with me on my purse. It's not that bulky, and you can just like create a natural look with this. So I'm not getting rid of that one either. So moving on, I have these two Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes. This is the first one that I got, and this is the Sassy Siennas. I love this eyeshadow palette, and these are the shades right here. It's just like a terracotta, orangey, peachy shades, and these are so good and pigmented. I also have a video on this one. I think I have a video on those two, but I have a video on this one, and it is so good. Like, the pigment is so good. They are a little bit powdery, not as much as the Anastasia ones, but they're so pigmented. So I have this one, which is Sassy Siennas, which is one of my favorites, and I have the Marvelous Mauves, which is more like mauve shades. I'll be using these more like towards the fall because I just love these shades. So I also have a tutorial on this one. So those are the other two palettes. And then moving on, I have this Tarte palette, and it's called the Energy Noir Clay palette. To be honest, I think I've used this one maybe once or twice. And it looks like this. It has a blush, it has a highlighting powder, like a highlighting shadow, and then these shadows right here. I really don't use this one. I think I'm gonna pass this one on to my mom as well, because I honestly don't reach out for it as much as my other palettes. So Mom, here's another palette for you. Okay, so moving on, I have these two MAC shadow palettes, and they're called the Purple x 9 and the Amber x 9 palette. So these are more like purpley shades, and they're so tiny. Like, it's real good for traveling as well. I used to use these a lot, not this one but this other one. I used to use these a lot, but brands have been coming out with new palettes recently, so I mean, you start trying out new stuff and you leave the old stuff behind. So I stopped using these, but I'm not planning to get rid of them just because I do have a use for them. I'll use them sometimes, and they're good for traveling, so I'll just keep both of these. So moving on, this is the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. This is one of my favorite palettes at the moment. Like I said, I am wearing it on my eyes, and these are the shades right here. They're so pretty and natural, and they're so pigmented as well, and the glitters are so pigmented, like super pigmented. And yeah, I like this palette as well, so I'm keeping it. Make sure I don't drop that one, because that one is so good. Okay, so moving on, I have the Too Faced Peach palette, the Sweet Peach palette, and it still smells like peaches. And these are the shades right here. Also, we have a lot of neutral and cool tone ones over here, so you get a little bit of both. I haven't used all shades in here. I mainly go in for the brown, and yeah, I really don't use this palette, but I don't want to get rid of it just because it's such a pretty packaging and it's such a pretty palette. So I'll use it sometimes, but I really don't reach out for it. But I'm not gonna get rid of it just because it's a Too Faced palette and it smells like peaches, so I'm not getting rid of that one. Okay, so another palette that I have is BH Cosmetics. This is the Carly Bybel palette. This is her first palette. I don't have her second palette. This is the first palette, and once again, this, when it came out, it was one of my favorite palettes because, once again, the shades. And once again, I hit pan on this shade because it is so good. Like, it's such a natural shade that once again you can throw over your lid and your crease, and you're good to go, and you just like ready. And these highlighters, you guys, wow, they are so good. I mainly go for this one or this one. I really don't use these, but these eyeshadows, like these two right here, they're so good. You can even use this to highlight. I like to use this like on my inner corner or my brow bone, but this palette, when it came out, it was one of my favorites, so I'm not getting rid of it either. Okay, and then I have, oh my god, I just dropped the whole stack of palettes. Okay, so I have, ooh, what is this? Ooh, I have shadow here. Nobody told me? Rude. So I have these two MAC, these are double eyeshadow palettes. And let me see, are they all shadow? Okay, so, okay, I'll start with the MAC, with this one, because all of these shadows are MAC. So you open these and they have like these slots. I used to love eyeshadow MACs. These are the first eyeshadows that I started buying, like single shadows, and then I would just pop them on this little, not little, on this palette. It has like a double side palette. So all of these shades are from MAC, and it has like a little clear thing to protect the other shadows. So once again, this I hit pan. This is called Shadow Lady. It's one of my favorite MAC eyeshadows. I hit pan on it because it is such a good shade, and I would just wear this like on the fall. I would wear this basically every single day. So this is called Shadow Lady. Also these right here, like Jess, all that glitters, Woodwinged, Mythology. I feel like people don't talk about MAC shadows anymore just because, once again, a lot of brands have been coming out with a lot of shadows. So I feel like people don't even talk about these anymore. I don't reach out for them as much as I used to, but I don't want to get rid of them because when I used to buy these shadows, like, I was barely like getting into makeup, so these are kind of like sentimental to me. Not sentimental, but they're kind of special just because they're the first shadows that I started to buy, so I don't want to get rid of them. I used to use them sometimes like on my cousins and stuff when I do their makeup, but I'm not gonna get rid of them. So then this other one, you can't only put MAC eyeshadows here, you can put like any other shadow. So this is mainly let me see, these are Makeup Geek and Morphe combined. So these are, I think some of these, like this square right here is Makeup Geek, and then the bottom is Morphe. And these are some like this is a highlighter, I don't even know what brand that is. And then that's a blush, that's a shadow, a MAC shadow, and a MAC shadow. Yeah, this is another palette, and I'm not getting rid of it just because, like I said, I do use these once in a while. So another palette that I have right here, this is from Tarte, and it's called the Neutral Eyes Volume 6. I can't read like these numbers. It's a I and a V, so I'm guessing it's 6. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Oh, never mind, this one did break. Boo. Okay, so I have to be careful with this one. I think I already turned myself. This is what, let me see if I can show it to you guys. This is what it looks like. I broke this shade right here. I really don't use this palette. I don't think I've ever used it except for these top shadow. And I don't use it as a night shadow. I actually use it to put on my hairline because when I'm wearing like a ponytail, like I have like this like bald spots right here. So I'll just grab a brush, get some of this shadow and just like fill in my baldness. So I'm not getting rid of it just because I do like that shade for my hairline. So I'm not getting rid of it. Okay, another shadow palette. Let me see. I'll move on to this one. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. And this is this one right here. I love this palette too. When it first came out, I would use it a lot. I don't grab it as much as I used to, but I'm not getting rid of it because, like I said, I do use it once in a while. This next one I am getting rid of because, to be honest, I have not touched any of these shadows. And this is the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette, and this is what the shades look like. I have not used any of these shadows. I've swatched them, but I've never used them. I bought it just because it looked pretty and it was Gwen Stefani, which is stupid because why would you buy a shadow palette if you're not going to use it? But that's just me. I just buy stuff because I like them. So I think I'm going to give this one to my mom. Okay, so moving on, I do have this Makeup Revolution Soap X eyeshadow palette. This one also, I recently bought it not too long ago, and it looks like this. It does have some like bright shades right here, but I'm not gonna get rid of it just because I haven't had the time to really play with it. So I do want to try it more. Another shadow palette that I have is the Urban Decay Naked palette. This one I got it because it was on sale for like $23, I believe. And ooh, the brush is still here. Ooh, this is kind of a good brush. It has a pencil and it has like blending brush, so I'll just keep that aside. So these are the shades right here. I've used this, I think, like one time. I think, yeah, it must have been one time because these shadows look kind of like new. I'm not getting rid of it because I've always wanted this shadow palette and I never got it, but since it was on sale, I did grab it because these shadows are kind of expensive, so I'm not getting rid of that one either. So another palette that I have is from BH Cosmetics, and it's a Shan XO palette, and this is her shadow palette, and then on the other side it has lipsticks. I've used these two lipsticks like a long time ago, but I really don't like this combo. Like, I like the shades, like the shadows and everything, they're so good. I mean, they're good, but I really don't like when eyeshadow palettes have lipsticks on them, even though it's on the other side. Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I guess it's good for traveling, but I just don't like lipsticks on a pan. So I'm not getting rid of it because it's Shaniqso. Who's gonna get rid of her? Nobody, right? So I'm not gonna get rid of her. Another palette that I have is from Stila, and it's way dirty. And this is called the, what is this? I'm guessing her name is Mind. So these are the shades right here. I'm not getting rid of this one either, just because I love these shades. When it first came out, I did use it quite a bit, so I'm not getting rid of it either. Okay, so another palette that I have is from Makeup Geek, and this is the collab with Manny MUA. I'm not getting rid of Manny either because I love Manny. So these are the shades right here. I did use this a lot, so I really like this shade right here, and these right here, and this one. Oh my god, this red is very good for the fall, and this one as well. So I'm not getting rid of this one just because I do use it and I really love Manny, so I'm not gonna get rid of Manny. It's okay, Manny, we're still friends. And then the other palettes that I have, they're from Morphe. They're Morphe shadows. I mentioned before that I have them on these MAC, oops, not this one. Where did this one come from? I have them on these MAC eyeshadow palettes. Just like I said, you don't need to stick MAC eyeshadow palettes in them. You can just stick like regular pants eyeshadows to these. So these are from Morphe, and I do have them kind of like color coordinated, kind of like that. So these are all like the natural shades, and it goes towards like the mauve and pink shades. So I'm not getting rid of any of these because I love these so much, and they're just like handy when I do people's makeup. I do use these, so I'm not gonna get rid of those. And then the next one is this one right here. These are a little bit of colorful, and then like the dark ones. So yeah, these are the other ones that I have. And then these are all my dark shades, like the purple dark shades. I have them all right here. And last but not least, I have my brown shades. This is my most used palette, like from these that I have. This is the most used one because it has a lot of browns and glittery shades. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can fit 15 shadows on each palette. If you guys are interested in getting these palettes by themselves, they do have them on the MAC website or on a MAC Pro store, and they're not even expensive. I think they're like $10. Like they sell they sell the palette separate, and they sell like the insert thing separate. I think this is like $8, and then the insert is like $2. So it's not even expensive for a palette. Then I have 2 more left palettes, and one of them is the Morphe 24G palette, and these shadows are huge. So these are what they look like, and as you can see, this one is my most used shadow. You can see right there like all the fallout and stuff, and this one is so good as well. So these are, once again, the Morphe 24G palette, and I'm not getting rid of it because it is so good. Last but not least is one of my favorite shadow palettes of all times, and you all guessed it right, is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. And this is her first packaging that she came out with Morphe. Whenever eyeshadow palettes launch and I'm excited for them, I don't wait to get them. I just like get them like when it launches. So this is like her first packaging. It does get dirty, but you can clean it. I mean, I cleaned mine and it's okay, but this is more like a carton type of palette. It's not like the shiny one, the new one that she has right now, and it's like this on the back. So it's the old packaging, but this is one of my most used eyeshadow palettes, and this is what it looks like. Like all these shades are my shades. Like I use all of these most of the time. So this is my go-to palette if I want to do a look like for a wedding or something. I just want to do like a good look. This is what I grab if I go to an event or something. This is usually what I wear because I know it works good. It works great on my eyes. It stands out. It's pigmented. So I don't want to try anything else because I know that this one is so good. So this is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes, and I'm not giving it away just because I really like it. I have been wanting to buy the new packaging just because it's a new packaging. So maybe later on I'll buy it and I'll give this one to my mom. But for now, I'm keeping it and it's not going anywhere. So this is it for this video. I got rid of one. I got rid of this one. I got rid of the two elves and I got rid of this Tarte one. So I only got rid of 4 shadow palettes. I know it's bad, but I really do like the other ones, so I'm not gonna get rid of them. So this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel once again. And thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye.